display, in fact, to attend. That's in Malta. Two-day event on the 23rd and 24th, before finally this aircraft is retired from Royal Netherlands Air Force service, because it is to that air arm that we now turn for this unique and distinctive display. Watch the takeoff by this, the Fokker F-27 300M troop ship. The aircraft captain is First Lieutenant Willem Wilbank. Co-pilot is Captain Jan Brekkelmans. And Warrant Officer Willem Smorenborg is the flight engineer. The remaining member of the team is the aircraft itself. This particular machine came into service 35 years ago. It's logged over 11,000 hours and 11,000 cycles, and comes out of service at the end of this season. It does so because the Royal Netherlands Air Force is taking on a new air transport fleet of 2 Hercules, 2 KDC-10 transport and tanker aircraft, and 4 Fokker 60 transports, descendants of course of the F-27. As far as the troopship version is concerned, there are 9 such in Dutch service, and you'll notice of course that 90-degree banks are never exceeded in this display. Depends how you measure your 90 degrees, but here is one of the more graphic parts of the sequence, as another 360-degree turn is embarked upon this side, this time with the inner engine feathered. Spools up again, and watches the smoke returns. In fact, it's the smoke system that marks this out, as the squadron's taken the first available aircraft off the line, fitted a tank to contain the diesel fuel that generates the smoke, and the necessary piping to feed it into the efflux of the 2 Rolls-Royce Dart engines. The world's most successful turboprop engine. Dart 511s, each of some 1,742 shaft horsepower, so a maximum speed of some 307 miles an hour. Again, another one of those very tight banks. That the F-27s were equipped with smoke generators for the display season. And indeed the smoke is demonstrated once again, this time another 360-degree turn, this time with the outer engine stopped and propeller feathered. You can just see it windmilling. Watch as Willem completes the turn and spools back up the engine. Troopship takes a maximum of 38 passengers, in addition to the crew of 3. The basic friendship would seat some 26 to 28. 334 Squadron is the unit responsible, and if that sounds a familiar number to you, that's because it is indeed a former Royal Air Force number. The Dutch communications flight was formed at Hendon, now the home of course of the Royal Air Force Museum, in July of 1944, for communications between Britain and the Netherlands. And latterly that was to be established as 334 Squadron, with the motto Semper et Ubique, always and everywhere. And certainly on the display scene, for the last 15 years at least, the F-27 has been very welcome everywhere. Alas, however, it can't go on forever. And so we see here the last of its displays. sloop ship used for transporting cargo, parachutists, casualties, defence ships for all manner of passenger tasks, and most certainly too royal flights, and in United Nations support. Well, now another of these high approaches, you would understand there are lots of mountains in the Netherlands, it says here, and so it's sometimes necessary to perform this sort of very steep approach. Watch as all goes slow, and then all goes down for the final landing. And they're demonstrating too that short takeoffs are another of the F-27's fortes, an aircraft that first flew in 1955, 40 years ago, designed as a replacement for the Douglas DC-3, and received the accolade of being built under license in the United States by Fairchild as the FH-227.
Kida per segundo, Oops. Oh my body.